Just threw a woman on the ground.
Back up!
An incredibly tense standoff, dogs barking, tasers going off, protesters screaming, all in a fight over land in Nevada. On the one side, the feds who say it's government land. On the other side, a cattle rancher who says the land is his. And now the dispute is so heated, self-proclaimed militias are joining in. Tweet me what you think, hashtag on the case. Here's CNN's Dan Simon with all the details.
Get back now!
This dramatic video Wednesday showed the rising tension over some prized desert in Nevada, about an hour and a half outside of Las Vegas.
Back up, you're gonna get bit!
With dogs and tasers, these federal officers were trying to clear a roadway blocked by protesters, an incident now under investigation.
This is America, and they are the aggressors. We're not the aggressors.
It all began when the U.S. BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, began seizing hundreds of cattle owned by a local rancher, 68-year-old Cliven Bundy, a well-liked figure in this rural community.
The federal government is here with an army stealing my cattle is what it is. It's not seizing, they're stealing my cattle.
Bundy and his son claim it's an illegal action because the cattle and land belong to them.
I grew up on this land, and all the rest of you did too. Most of you did. And never once have we ever been kept away from going up on this land.
But the BLM and the National Park Service says the Bundys don't own it, the government does, and therefore they need to pay grazing fees for the livestock. All told, Uncle Sam says the elder Bundy owes more than $1 million in unpaid debts spanning 2 decades.
You need to leave now!
This week, the BLM said enough is enough. Prepared for a battle, they had this run-in with Bundy supporters. In a statement, federal authorities say a police dog was kicked and that officers protecting a civilian driver were threatened and assaulted. And as for the seizure, the BLM and NPS have made repeated attempts to resolve this matter administratively and judiciously. Impoundment of cattle illegally grazing on public lands is an option of last resort. The dispute, however, has brought self-proclaimed members of militia groups from across the country to join the rancher in fighting what they say is U.S. tyranny.
Did you bring weapons with you?
I just preferred not to answer.
And there's no answer as to how long this standoff will last.
Big thanks to Dan Simon for that report. The Bureau's director in Nevada says the whole standoff is now under investigation. Let's bring back in the Dream Team. And let's begin first with the danger, okay? Because you've got, the feds are coming in, but now you've got all these militia members that are coming to help protest and support this rancher. How dangerous can this get, Mike?
It can get very, very dangerous. We've seen incidents like this before years ago. And, you have a standoff like this with militiamen and U.S. government agents. It could get very, very ugly very, very quickly.
All right, Dan, what can this rancher do? Now, his family has been ranching out there for a long time, but now it's public land. His cattle are being seized. It's getting out of control. I mean, does he have any recourse?
Well, he has the court system, and there are district court rulings that have already gone against him. This is why we have a court system, so people don't have to resort to violence, so they could seek a remedy with an attorney in court. And if his rights are being violated, they should be able to get some justice there. If not, he can appeal to another court, but you can't take up arms against the government officials who are trying to enforce the law.